What's up, people? I'm Shaggy the Opinionated Hippie, and this is my top 10 favorite Jefferson Airplane songs. That's it. Just a bunch of Jefferson Airplane songs. My 10 favorite. How did we get to Jefferson Airplane from Frank Zappa? Grace Slick and Frank Zappa wrote a song together. Would You Like a Snack? You can hear it on, I think it's a bonus track on Crown of Creation. And it was eventually released. I think it was released on the Jefferson Airplane box set from like that pink one, right? I think it's on that box set also. And not the one on 200 Motels. But yeah, that's the connection. And that's a good enough connection for me. All right, let's get on to it. I'm going to go through the 10 from 10 to 1. I'll put the list on the screen at the end. Then you tell me yours. Or tell me which ones I missed. So I can go check them out. Number 10, We Can Be Together. One of those anthems. I like anthemic Jefferson Airplane. I think they were very much of the 60s. Their sound is dated in that they sound very 60s, both musically and both lyrically, and both their belief that music can maybe make a difference and we can say things like, let's band together and be together and fight the power, and the hope, the psychedelic hippie core that is at their music is one of my favorite things in the world. Like, no, I don't. I don't know. Maybe that's why it hasn't aged well for a lot of people, is because it's very rooted in the 60s. I sometimes wish Robert Hunter had a little more of that, at least in the way We Can Be Together is there. But just the guitar lines, the energy, the like sing-along anthemic style of this, it gets me every time. I love this aspect of Jefferson Airplane. Number 9 is the Ballad of You and Me and Punil. These opening tracks on these albums are really good. This is... both of the Punil songs start off with some really nice feedback. This is the lesser of the feedback. Then we just go into this like psych rock kind of all over the map, but not in like a hectic Bohemian Rhapsody way, but in like we can't maintain our focus. So we get all these like almost like every psych trope you hear from a psych band. We have the Austin Psych Fest here in Texas every April, and there used to be a lot more bands, it seems, than are playing now. It used to be like every like half hour you had a new band on a couple of stages. And you would hear like all the ones that were not yet big just seemed like they were just mining the same like caves that Jefferson Airplane did. It just seemed like all of these psych tropes that Jefferson Airplane had done. The Ballad of You and Me and Punil just seems to run through all of them. Like we're just all over the map. But it's exhilarating and it's fun and it's electric and it's very, very psych music at its best. I do believe that Jefferson Airplane is probably responsible for more psychedelic music tropes than any other band. I might try to make a study of that. Number 8 would probably be higher if I had not heard it 14 million times. Somebody to Love. Can't deny that performance. Can't deny Grace Slick. Grace Slick is a beast. She's a beast here. Yeah, it's a fantastic song. Just, it's at 8 because I've heard it way too many times. Number 7, Today, a softer, a balladier type thing, but with a very sort of, the opening guitar playing by Yorma kind of reminds me of Jerry, and I always get a little bit of like Morning Dew vibes, where I'm like, okay, I'm meant to relax, and I'm meant to maybe feel okay about things, but whatever that guitar is doing, it sounds like it's like, no, you're trying to make me feel better about a situation that's not good. And that's the way the vibe of this song is musically. And it just kind of lingers for the whole thing. And it's just this awesome, weird psych unsettledness that just, it reminds me of Morning Dew. It's just got that vibe. It doesn't sound like Morning Dew, but the sort of psychedelic late 60s vibe that it brings up. Yeah, that's just the way it makes me feel. Number 7, Today. Number 6, Hey Frederick. I think a song that maybe should have made this band a heavier hitter on like in the terms of what the Grateful Dead were and Cream were and bands of the late 60s like jamming out. This is a jam song. It's like 8+ minutes. It jams. It goes off. It's a psych jam workout. It's got a song in the front, then we just go off for like 5 minutes. It's absolutely fantastic and exhilarating. And I don't know. I just wish the band had able to like document that live prowess more and maybe stick together through the 70s and go the route of the Dead and just push that envelope, but in like a heavier psychedelic way. Jefferson Airplane's life was too short. Number 5, one of the weirdest songs they did, especially lyrically. It is Grace Slick embracing hippiness, like go hug a tree in the best way possible, but it's a dark psych song. It's got prog action, like within the first minute and a half before Grace even gets around to singing, right? Even after she does, like you feel like Rush could have done this song. Jethro Tull could have done this song. This has some definite prog vibes, but it's very rooted in psych. And it's got one of my favorite lyrics of all time. She says this often about the human something. But one of them, I think, is the human scream don't mean shit to a tree. Just like, yeah, tearing down humans for what they've done to the environment. Eskimo Blue Day. Just an exhilarating, awesome psych prog song. I don't hear enough props about this song. This song should be getting all the love. Number 4, The House at Punio Corners starts off with just some screaming feedback. Then we go into this almost like muted doom riff. Then we kind of alternate between like more psych jammy energy and this doom energy. It's just this exhilarating, just adrenaline rush of psych, Yorma guitar, just Jefferson Airplane rock psych energy. Just another one of those just sort of muddled psych attacks. Like I think maybe that is Jefferson Airplane's problem, is like they don't, like this doom riff comes in, like they could have leaned into that for the full 5 minutes and it had been a classic song, but they abandoned it and go into something else and then return to it. And it just seems like in their jammy aspect, they couldn't maintain a focus long enough to like give them a defining sound other than being just like psych at its core. And this is one of those weird, exhilarating songs that's just so all over the place. It could have been many different other things, but they, of course, just kind of throw everything in the kitchen sink in the mix. But it's still absolutely fantastic. Number 3, David Crosby song that they covered, Triad. It's about a menage a trois, or maybe about a relationship, a lover's triangle, maybe not that as specifically graphic and one-timey. We get a whole minute of like acoustic setup, kind of just setting the tone. And you kind of feel this sort of, I don't know if it's tension, but you feel this sort of like, okay, anxiety of this situation or the uncertainty of the situation of like, what exactly do we do here? And then when Grace enters about a minute in, it's just like, it's one of her great performances. She takes these lyrics that could be very like demanding or very stark and harsh and like in your face, we're going to do this, but just makes them gentle and loving and just like, Grace Slick, baby. Yeah, great song. My number 2, I think one of the best psych rock songs ever written. Another one that some of the Crosby had a hand in. I think Stills had a hand in it too, right? With Kantner, and that's Wooden Ships. Just fantastic song. Sort of this post-apocalyptic nightmare. People in like silver suits and the wooden ships and eat these berries because I've been eating them. I'm not dead, so they're not contaminated. I want to make sure it's Kantner. I'm pretty sure it's Kantner who co-wrote it. But just, yeah, absolutely phenomenal song. Who wrote that? But yeah, it's got a dark psych energy. The vocal performances are better. Yeah, Kantner co-wrote it. It's got one of those where just almost like chaotic vocal approaches that Jefferson Airplane does, but it works perfectly for this song. Yeah, just an absolutely phenomenal masterpiece. And number 1, I can still listen to it this day and still enjoy it. I still wish it was longer, but no, it absolutely has to be short in order to be as effective as it is. And that's White Rabbit. It's perfect. As an Alice in Wonderland fan growing up, that's one of the first books I read from cover to cover when I was in elementary school, absolutely enthralled with Alice in Wonderland. By the time I grew up and like started listening to music and then went to college and listened to music in an entirely different way, my appreciation of White Rabbit grew exponentially. It's trippy. It's psych music. It's what an LSD trip is like. It is just that the Marshall drums, that sort of snaky, exotic guitar playing by Yorma, Grace's vocal delivery, the lyrics, Cassidy's bass, like everything about this song. And that's one thing, I apologize right now. I have not given Cassidy enough props for his bass playing all of these friggin' during the last video. He is a beast. However, he's a beast who doesn't write songs or sing, so he kind of sits in the background. But he's absolutely phenomenal. And huge Hot Tuna fan. Saw Hot Tuna a lot back in like 80s and 90s, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, Mr. Cassidy, Jack Cassidy is a fantastic bass player. But anyways, White Rabbit. Absolutely, absolutely. Just a perfect, perfect little nugget of a Psych song. One of the best Psych songs. They wrote two of the greatest Psych songs ever. White Rabbit and One in Chips. That's what my list looks like. That's it. Those are the songs. Those are the jams. Those are the classics that the Jefferson Airplane dropped in their time. My 10 favorite. Let me know what your favorite are. Let me know which ones I should reconsider, which ones are much better, all that kind of stuff. You know how comments work, people. Comment. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and go listen to Jefferson Airplane. Go listen to Jefferson Airplane. I think one of the sort of, if you were in the Plato's cave and they were making they were using like puppet to make shadows on the wall. This is the Psych puppet you would use as sort of the essence of what Psych music is right here to my ears. The greatest Psych rock band to ever live. They laid the foundation. They are the OGs. Jefferson Airplane. That's all I got. Peace. Talk to you later.